On April 22, 1974, in Ogden, Utah, a routine evening closing shift at the hi-fi shop turned into a deadly hostage ordeal when two U.S. Air Force airmen and accomplices bound 5 people in the basement, forced them to ingest a corrosive liquid, and inflicted fatal injuries, leaving 2 survivors scarred for life and marking one of the state's most notorious cases. The victims included employees Stanley Walker, 20, and Michelle Ansley, 18, who were wrapping up around 8:30 p.m. when the robbers entered. Moments later, customer Courtney Naisbitt, 16, arrived looking for a job. As the situation escalated, Orrin Walker, 43, Stanley's father, and Carol Naisbitt, 52, Courtney's mother, entered the store searching for their relatives, unknowingly walking into the trap. The perpetrators, Dale Pierre, 21, and William Andrews, 19, both Air Force helicopter mechanics at Hill Air Force Base, along with getaway driver Keith Roberts, 19, and 3 unidentified men, aimed for a quick robbery of high-end stereo equipment. Armed and masked, they herded the 5 hostages to the basement display room, bound their hands, and began ransacking the store above. In the basement, the group forced the hostages to consume Drano, a drain cleaner they believed would cause rapid death. As it took effect, the assailants escalated, using firearms in a manner that caused severe harm. Pierre and Andrews fired shots at close range, targeting Carol Naisbitt, Stanley Walker, and Michelle Ansley, resulting in their deaths from the injuries. Courtney Naisbitt and Orrin Walker endured critical wounds but clung to life amid the chaos. The robbers looted about $2,000 in cash and gear before fleeing around 11 p.m., leaving the survivors in the dark basement. Orrin Walker managed to free himself hours later and staggered upstairs to call for help at 1 a.m. on April 23rd. Responding officers found the grim scene, with the 3 deceased victims and 2 gravely injured survivors. Orrin was rushed to the hospital, where he provided a detailed description of Pierre, including his voice and build. Courtney suffered brain damage from the ordeal, losing much of his memory. The investigation moved swiftly. Victims' belongings were traced to a dumpster at Hill Air Force Base, linking back to Pierre and Andrews through base security footage and witness tips. A search of their off-base storage unit uncovered stolen items and Drano bottles. Roberts was identified as the driver via vehicle descriptions. All 3 were arrested within days. Pierre and Andrews on April 25th, Roberts shortly after. The joint trial opened on October 15, 1974, in Farmington, Utah, to avoid local bias. Orrin Walker testified powerfully despite his paralysis from a bullet lodged near his spine. On November 16th, Pierre and Andrews were convicted of 3 counts of first-degree murder and 2 counts of aggravated robbery. Roberts was convicted only of robbery. Pierre and Andrews received death sentences on November 20th. Roberts got 5 years to life. Appeals dragged on for years, citing racial bias. Pierre was black, Andrews white, and interrogation issues. Pierre was executed by lethal injection on August 28, 1987. Andrews followed on July 30, 1992. Roberts was paroled in 1987 and died by suicide in 1992. The hi-fi case reshaped Utah's justice system, fueling debates on capital punishment and leaving survivors' families forever altered.